It's time for another WrestlePlanet news update, as WWE are set to bring in new rules for their brand split. Allegations have been made against WWE legend The Undertaker, and AEW have announced a partnership with the Owen Hart Foundation. All that and more coming up in today's video, but first... Game Changer Wrestling recently announced 4 names for their upcoming Bloodsport event. Bloodsport sees a hybrid MMA style of pro wrestling inside a ring with no ropes, and is one of the most unique spectacles in the business. It's been revealed that Calvin Tankman, who also works for MLW, will be wrestling on the show. Killer Kelly will also be there, who is a mainstay on the European wrestling scene and has been linked to a move to Impact Wrestling in the recent past. She was also recently part of WWE's NXT UK brand before quietly departing in January 2020. And shout out to Strong Style Amsterdam. Marina Shafir is another name on the card, who was recently released from WWE in June of this year. She is known for her time as an MMA fighter and is a member of the 4 Horsewomen of MMA alongside Ronda Rousey, Shayna Baszler, and Jessamyn Duke. The 4th name announced is Minoru Suzuki, who makes his 3rd Bloodsport appearance. And the 53-year-old veteran is one of the most feared men in the business, and the King of Pancrase will bring his hard-hitting style to the event once again. Bloodsport 7 will be held on Friday, October 22nd, and is available on Fight using our affiliate link in the description below if you fancy checking it out. AEW President Tony Khan appeared on Busted Open Radio this week to promote the upcoming AEW Dynamite and Rampage tapings this Wednesday in Queens, New York. The event will be the first wrestling show in the Arthur Ashe Stadium, which is traditionally a tennis venue. Khan spoke of his excitement for the event and confirmed that he plans on making Grand Slam an annual thing and said, "It's pretty amazing when you can be the first wrestling show in such a historic, awesome venue that's very famous worldwide. It's known throughout America as the home of the US Open, but the US Open is watched in most countries in the world. It's a pretty prestigious event, and it's cool that the Park District and the US Open folks agreed to have AEW Grand Slam. I'm really hoping that it's something we can do in New York with Arthur Ashe Stadium every year." The show is set to break the company's attendance record and will be main evented by the Ultimate Dream match between Kenny Omega and Bryan Danielson, and will also see the television match debut of CM Punk, who takes on Powerhouse Hobbs of Team Taz. I'm tempted to put together a predictions video for both Dynamite and Rampage, as it does feel like a pay-per-view, so let me know in the comments if that's something you're interested in. The UBS Arena in Elmont, Long Island, New York is set to open in November later this year, with 2 wrestling shows set to be hosted in the new venue within its first few weeks. WWE are set to host Monday Night Raw on November 9th, and as of last night have sold 2,365 tickets, which is 32% of the 7,398 capacity. This is according to Wrestling Tix. Bobby Lashley, Drew McIntyre, WWE Raw Women's Champion Charlotte Flair, Nikki Ash, Kofi Kingston, and WWE Raw Tag Team Champion Randy Orton have all been advertised for the show so far. A few days later, AEW will host Dynamite and Rampage on the same night on Wednesday, December 8th, and have sold almost double the amount of tickets that WWE has, with 6,167 sold of the 8,851 available, which is 70% of the capacity. In AEW's case, MJF is the lone poster boy for the event, who is of course a New York native. Clearly MJF is a bigger draw than Raw's top stars because he's better than them and you know it. But all jokes aside, this is a huge sign of AEW's growing interest and current momentum, with more fans in Long Island clamoring to see AEW over WWE. Will Ospreay's New Japan Pro-Wrestling stable, the United Empire, added 2 new members yesterday during a show by Revolution Pro Wrestling. Rev Pro have worked closely with New Japan for a number of years, and during their high-stakes 2021 event, popular Australian tag team Aussie Open would join Ospreay in the ring after he retained the undisputed British Heavyweight Championship against Ricky Knight Jr. Kyle Fletcher and Mark Davis, who make up the duo, have been active on the Australian and European wrestling scene as a team since 2017, working for promotions such as Progress, WXW, and Defiant Wrestling. They join leader Will Ospreay and fellow members Great O'Khan, Jeff Cobb, and Aaron Henare as the United Empire continues to grow. Roman Reigns and the rest of the Bloodline are set to appear on tonight's WWE Monday Night Raw, despite being SmackDown superstars. WWE Universal Champion Roman Reigns and SmackDown Tag Team Champions The Usos will be taking on the New Day's Kofi Kingston, Xavier Woods, and WWE Champion Big E. Wrestling Insider WrestleVotes has taken to Twitter to reveal that Roman's appearance on Raw is part of a test to see if having bigger superstars crossing brands helps with the ratings, and said, "Some chatter I heard over the weekend included how important tonight's Raw number is. Draft plans aside, with their biggest full-time star in Roman Reigns being advertised to work tonight's Raw, a bigger number than normal would open the box to showcasing main superstars on both brands." It seems if tonight's Raw gets a good rating, WWE will be looking to keep the brand split in place, whilst having bigger names work both brands to help Raw get a boost, likely due to being outdone by AEW Dynamite in the key demo for the last 2 weeks. And quickly, just before we continue, make sure you drop a like on the video as it helps me out a lot, and make sure you subscribe with notifications turned on so you don't miss any upcoming wrestling content as we head, hopefully, towards 100,000 subscribers. But now, let's press play on the video. We're coming off the back of the Plane Ride from Hell episode of Dark Side of the Ring, which highlighted several incidents from within WWE, which seems to suggest a long history of bullying, harassment, and hazing sewn into its core. More allegations have now surfaced as former WWE superstar Rene Dupree appeared on That 90s Wrestling podcast and revealed a story about then locker room leader, The Undertaker, and he said, "They took my $500 shoes and my $1,000 suit and ruined it in the shower because I didn't go out drinking at the bar the night before because nobody invited me. That's just materialistic stuff. You can replace that. That doesn't bother me. What really bothered me is when in Italy the next night they took my French flag, my heritage, they shoved it into a toilet and pissed and shit all over it. I don't know what bullshit world you live in, but in my world that's called racial discrimination. That was really hurtful." What I did do was I went to Arn Anderson, who was the agent, and I asked him. Arn's advice to me was, don't sell it. I was like, okay. The next person I went to was The Undertaker, and I said, what do you do when someone does this to you? And he goes, well, you find out who does it. He ordered them to do that because I didn't go out drinking with him and the guys at the bar. As of this recording, The Undertaker has made no comment on the allegations, although it's not exactly a hard story to believe given recent revelations. This isn't the first time we've heard about stories like this, particularly amongst the older generation of wrestlers, as bullying, harassment, and hazing seem to be commonplace at one time. And getting on to a lighter note, AEW have today announced a new relationship with the Owen Hart Foundation to honour the Canadian grappler. The partnership will see a number of tributes made to the King of Hearts as highlighted in a press release posted to the All Elite Wrestling Twitter page, and they wrote, All Elite Wrestling and the Owen Hart Foundation, a non-profit charity which provides a vast range of assistance and opportunities to individuals in need across the world, are collaborating to honor the legacy of late wrestler Owen Hart, a beloved figure in the professional wrestling community and beyond. This collaboration includes launching the annual Owen Hart Cup tournament within AEW, which will see the winner receive a cup known as the Owen, as well as the production and distribution of unique and original Owen Hart merchandise, including specified retail goods, as well as the upcoming AEW console game. This alliance incorporates opportunities to develop Owen Hart action figures via AEW's partnership with Jazzwares, apparel, posters, and additional collectible merchandise. The Owen Hart Foundation was established in the year 2000 by Owen's widow Martha Hart, with the mission of providing global aid to at-risk communities, helping provide scholarships, housing, food drives, and much more. In a press release, AEW President Tony Khan discussed the company's relationship with the Hart family and said, AEW's relationship with the Hart family dates back to our inaugural pay-per-view event, Double or Nothing, in 2019, and Owen's influence is still felt today. To extend his memory and legacy even further through this agreement is a powerful and meaningful moment for the entire wrestling community. The pay-per-view reference there, Double or Nothing 2019, saw Bret Hart, who is of course Owen's brother, reveal the AEW World Championship belt for the first time. We did discuss a possible Owen Hart tribute in AEW last month after a King of Hearts trademark was filed by the company, which is one of Owen's nicknames. It's likely that this term will be used on merchandise produced by AEW going forward. This is fantastic news for wrestling fans, with there having been a big void when it comes to Owen in the wrestling space due to Martha's refusal to work with WWE, who she rightly holds responsible for his death. However, her work with the Owen Hart Foundation can only be admired, and it's great to see both worlds coming together. Owen is one of the best wrestlers in history, and it's going to be exciting to see him honored in the right way in the business that he loved. And before you go, why not check out my video where I discuss 10 wrestlers that would be perfect members of the Elite.